This is music, and these first impressions are for Wandering Souls. A while ago, but not too long ago, I was super fortunate and I won a contest right here on YouTube. It was a contest that was held by none other than Mr. Thirsty himself, Mark from the Wandering Souls webzine channel. And check out his channel because it's a great channel, especially if you like vinyl collecting content and CDs and cassettes, all things metal, reaction videos, J rock, J metal, J pop even, and some K rock and K metal as well. And yeah, I was super lucky and I won the contest and I won these drum sticks right here, official signature Akane Hirose drum sticks from Bandmate. And this picture right here was part of the prize too. Uh, and it's actually like a set of 5 pictures, members of a band, and uh, you know, these pictures came with one of the CDs that, because CDs were part of the prize as well, and so a whole bunch of CDs. And I had the time to listen to the CDs, and let's talk about them. And this is actually the CD that these pictures came with, Bright Ear, Ages of London Live. So obviously a live album. Stylistically, I would say the music is a mix of modern traditional metal, if that makes any sense, power metal, and then a mix of melodic metalcore and melodic death metal. You have clean vocals, which are more like rock belting vocals, and then you have harsh vocals as well, like growls. And the growls, I think, are performed by the bass player right here. So the music is actually fantastic. Great stuff, great musicianship, excellent songs, well composed, um, not too simple, but not inaccessible either. So, I mean, they know how to write music and how to perform music because the performance on here is great too. It's a great live album. I think all the songs are awesome. And what I really like about this album is that it's not polished. It's not like raw or lo-fi or anything like that, but it's not polished. It has the imperfections. I don't like using that term, but the things that happen when songs are performed live. And I think that's cool because that adds a lot of authenticity to this. So yeah, this is a great live album. Definitely, if you like Bright Ear and you haven't heard this live album and you were like a super hardcore fan, I don't see any harm in picking this up. Also, if you just like live albums, check this out. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. Up next, we have this one here. This is a Cradle of Filth album with a very long title. It'll appear down here. I do have the digipack it came with. It's just stored somewhere else, so it's safe. Uh, the artwork looks like this though. And yeah, so Cradle of Filth, it's a band I never really got into. Nothing against them, I just never took the time to explore their music. I understand that some people think Cradle of Filth are just a one big joke, and other people are like very devoted fans of the band. I don't have any dog in this fight, obviously. Um, but I like this. This is a nice blend of gothic metal and a little bit of power metal, I would say, and black metal and symphonic metal. And it all works very, very well together. The songs are well composed, and I really like the dynamics. Like, you got intense, blasty parts, you got more atmospheric parts, you have more melodic and gothicy parts. So yeah, I think that's great. You got some, as far as I remember, like female vocals. You have more like operatic male vocals and female vocals as well. And then you have Danny Filth doing his thing. Harsh vocals for the most part. He kind of does a mix of growls and your typical screechy black metal vocals, and some spoken word. And all those styles, they work very well for me, but he also does a shriek, which I think might even be his signature thing. And the shrieks are annoying. They don't make this unlistenable at all, but they are kind of grating if I'm being honest. But overall, they don't detract from the listening experience. So I enjoyed this. I'm not gonna be a massive Cradle of Filth fan, but I can definitely see myself picking up some cheap secondhand Cradle of Filth albums every now and then. This one has like two discs, so the album itself, and then a kind of bonus disc with some remixes, alternate versions, and some cover stuff. So that's pretty cool. Up next, we have this one here, Hiroshima, and this is also black metal. This is called Somber Iconoclasm. And whereas Cradle of Filth is very elaborate and grandiose, epic, symphonic black metal, this is quite raw and bordering on being lo-fi. The guitar has this very thin but sharp tone to it that I've heard on a lot of those more raw sounding black metal albums. The drums, when they do blasting and blast beats, the drums it does become a little bit difficult to hear what's going on, but the at least the bell ride is extremely loud uh, in the mix. The bass is audible, and I actually really like that. The vocals on here are also shrieky, but they work much better for me on this album than on the Cradle of Filth one because the vocals here sound like a scared person in excruciating pain, just screaming out in anguish and pain and fear. So that works excellent um, with this type of music. I actually quite enjoyed this. Raw black metal is not a genre that I understand a whole lot, but I quite enjoyed this. And there's a lot of variation going on here too. So it's not just like muddy mess all the time. Far from it, actually. You even have like some kind of riffy and punky parts. And my favorite song is probably "Open My Black Grave," which is a quite punky black metal song. So I quite appreciated that song. There's also a song called Senpoku Tanpoku, I think, which I also quite appreciated. They're more like riffy songs, but yeah, if you like your raw, nasty, scary black metal, this is actually definitely worth checking out. I enjoyed it too. Um, sure. So that was really cool. Up next, something quite different, although it looks like it could be a black metal album too, or maybe a doom metal album. This is Tenebros. This is, it was listed as kind of lo-fi alternative rock, indie rock, I think, on Discogs. Um, I don't think it's lo-fi, and I don't think it's rock either. It's very minimalistic. It's basically just some clean guitars and some quite deep vocals bordering on being baritone, very introverted music. And then you have occasionally some additional instruments. Um, and the vocals are quite chanty in a way. So it's kind of dark and kind of oppressive. It kind of has like doom metal vibes to it, although it's not metal at all. And this is not a pleasant listen. It's a challenging listen, but it's super interesting for sure. It's I actually quite enjoyed having it on in the background. I listened to it a couple of times because it's so minimalistic and I mean, they don't use a lot of atmospheric elements or anything like that, but the music itself is kind of atmospheric, so it's kind of avant-garde in a way. So really cool. Up next, we have this one here, Rublot, and it's called Star Vampire. So this is gothic metal with light industrial leanings. Sounds very inspired by Rammstein, the vocals and everything, and it's pretty good. It's not the kind of music I gravitate towards normally, but it was actually pretty cool to listen to this. There's an interesting cover version of Policy of Truth by Depeche Mode, which is, yeah, it was interesting. I don't think it's the best cover version I've heard of that song. Their own songs are pretty good too. They're obviously dark, heavy guitar tone. You got like synth and stuff, and you got industrial parts, and you got this kind of like deeper register or lower register vocals by a guy. So yeah, it was interesting. Definitely. I enjoyed listening to it. Up next, we have this one here, Zao by Nibra Bungit, and I do have the Digipack, so don't worry. It actually was an O card um, that came with a Digipack in it, so there you go. But I have it, and it looks like this. It's just stored somewhere else. So this is also in the realm of black metal, but there's much, much more going on than just black metal. You do have like blast beats and tremolo picking and all that stuff, and it's very atmospheric. You got some harsh vocals as well, but you have lots of lush synth parts. You got some traditional wind instruments and other more traditional folky instruments, and it's uh, it's very epic in that sense. It's not like symphonic, but it's very epic in that sense and very atmospheric. You have clean vocals, you got those soft parts, and then it blows up into black metal stuff, and very very interesting actually, quite enjoyable in its own way, kind of progressive and avant-garde too. And I was reminded a lot of In the Woods. I think maybe In the Woods kind of pioneered this kind of genre of very atmospheric black metal with lush instrumentation and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. Definitely very enjoyable too. And we got more black metal, and the album is called Macabre, not the band. The band is called whatever this says. I can't remember, and I cannot read the logo, but there you go. It's down there. And this is more straightforward black metal, aggressive, a lot of tremolo picking, um, pretty good production, not lo-fi, not polished either. Your typical screechy black metal vocals, and I actually quite like this. I thought this was very, very cool. I think this might be more of maybe an album you could check out if you're looking to get into black metal and you're not scared of harshness and tremolo picking and blast beats and stuff. Some pretty melodic elements as well, which I also kind of thought was pretty cool. So I enjoyed this one too. That was awesome. And up last we have Grim Fate. This is an EP and it's called Emerging from the Crypt. A nice, short, sharp shock of four old school sounding death metal songs. It's modern death metal, but it sounds like it's very inspired by your early 90s death metal. Very good guttural vocals and awesome old school riffage in the songs as well. And some of the riffs, I thought I kind of recognized them from some other songs. I think these guys are just paying homage to, whoever they're inspired by. This is great. I enjoyed this. Awesome stuff. Just like traveling back to the 90s, um, that style of death metal. Also fantastic artwork. So there you go. Yeah, I enjoyed all of these, some more than others, but I enjoyed them all. Some were very challenging to listen to, others super accessible, but I enjoyed the whole lot. So again, thanks to Mark from the Wandering Souls webzine channel, Mr. Thirsty himself, for throwing in all these CDs into the prize. You know, the drumsticks on their own, awesome, but this was just fantastic. So there you go. Check out these and see if you like him. For now, thanks for watching.